Gentlemen, switching tracks to the situation in West Asia, the Iranian state media says a perimeter of the nuclear plant has been hit in Bushehr. We're getting in some breaking news as the war escalates once again. Getting in pictures of blasts also being heard in Bandar Abbas in different parts of Iran. The Iranian state media claiming that a perimeter of the Bushehr nuclear power plant has been hit. Situation is escalating. I'll quickly get in a word from Major General Dhruv Katoch joining us on the broadcast. General Katoch, looking at how quickly this is escalating, what do you think the end game could be, sir, here for America once again? And they're hitting them at a time when the funeral is not even complete of the Iranian supreme leader.
Thank you, Ranjan. The way I look at it is this conflict, the start of the second round or the third round, whichever way you call it, it was initiated by Iran. Now, I see no reason why the Iranians actually targeted merchant ships which were getting out of the Strait of Hormuz. And they targeted 3 of those ships. Now, once you target those ships and the Americans have, staked their reputation on saying that the strait will be open, I think you force the American hand to retaliate. And once the Americans retaliated in multiple places on Iran, the Iranian political leadership and the IRGC, they have to sort of, show face to their own people. So they've hit American targets in the Gulf, 4 separate places. But in my view, while this escalation has carried on and may still carry on for a day or two, I do not think it will go beyond that, despite the fact that Bushehr, on the outskirts, it has been attacked. I don't think the aim would have been to hit the nuclear power plant, but perhaps it was there to just send a message. But I don't see this going on for too long. And both sides, neither the United States nor Iran want to go in for a prolonged war. But I think the bottom line is the strait has to be open. And if that is not done, then Iran, they're going to lose a very significant portion of their communication infrastructure, their railway lines, their bridges, the critical road links. And that is going to be very, very troublesome for them. Khamenei, his funeral is over. Now, when the conflict starts escalating, I think the goodwill which had been generated earlier for the political establishment, that will start to evaporate. So the next, I'll say 48 hours to 72 hours, we'll see how it happens. But honestly, I don't see it escalating further.
Stay with me because I'm getting in some more pictures, General Katoch, of the situation, not just in Iran, but Iran is retaliating. Now there are sirens being sounded in different parts of the Middle East. Let's quickly get our viewers the next bit of breaking news now coming in. We're getting in more details from different parts of the Middle East now. Footage showing Iranian missiles in different parts of the Middle East. So Iran is retaliating, and these are images of the Iranian missiles crossing Jordanian airspace en route US military bases. So it's the same drill once again. Iran is going after these bases and Iran is hitting them hard. And the Iranian missiles were spotted over the Jordanian airspace. Okay, the next bit of breaking news now coming in. Some infrastructure has been targeted once more, so let me get you the breaking news on that. US striking railway bridges. One of the bridges hit was the Ak-Take Khan railway bridge, a trade link to Tehran's strategic partners China and Russia, located in northern Iran's Golestan province. So they have targeted railway bridges in the past, and they're targeting the railway bridges once again. The China-Iran rail corridor particularly has been hit. Let me quickly get in a word from General Katoch, who, if he's still there, General Katoch, it appears to be the same plan. They're hitting infrastructure, but we're still wondering what the trigger was in this particular case. Was there a trigger to break the MOU? People are wondering what went wrong.
I think the Iranians have gone horribly wrong this time. And ultimately, the people of Iran are going to suffer for what the establishment has done. There was no reason at all for them to target the ships. Up to that time, I think things were. I'm not saying that there was, bonhomie, but at least there was no firing. And then Iran started it. And once Iran started it, it is tit for tat. The Americans were hit, now the Iranians were hit, and the Americans are going to hit back. But the point is, Iran cannot hit the United States of America in US territory. They can hit the US bases which are there in the Gulf. In Jordan, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, perhaps Saudi Arabia, that is where those bases are. But beyond that, they can do nothing. And the Iranian capacity is also limited. So in my view, at some point of time, this is going to stop. The Americans don't want to continue, and neither do the Iranians. But a message has to go to both sides. And in the end, both have to be, both have to appear to their respective publics that they are not the losers. Even if they're not depicted as the winners, they cannot appear to be the losers. And then I think some sort of a ceasefire, a ceasefire can start off once again. It is a delicate situation, but as I said in the beginning, I think Iran has started this round, and they've gone horribly wrong, in my opinion.
With those inputs, keeping a close track, sir, because it has ramifications, and we've seen the ramifications of the war on India as well, especially on our fuel situation, on our oil imports. The markets are watching closely, and we are keeping a close track of the situation. Taking a break on Republic.